Okay, last turn. Josh just sent it over to me. Early March 64. We took Richmond. What are victory points? Let's see. Were you still ahead of me on victory points?
Nah.
Let's see. I had 7261. What did you have? Oh, okay, yeah. All right. And then let's see here. Major victory. Yep. Andersonville Prison. No, ironically, the entire time I was in Georgia, I never was never able to visit.
Yeah, I've been there like 3 times.
Is it worth going to?
Yeah, I mean, it's got like a POW museum, like not just Civil War, but like all the wars.
Oh, cool. I didn't know that. All right, let me just get to the battle here. So I had 218,000. You had 5,100. You almost prevailed. And then I attacked your guys up at York. Yeah, so maybe let's start there. Like, maybe we'll work our way backwards here. What were you trying to do with Stuart up in the north, like originally? Because originally you were kind of looks like you were trying to like do the whole Gettysburg thing, where you like went up through Gettysburg, and then I don't know where you were going.
Originally, I had a core there at Harper's Ferry, but I didn't think he'd be able to. It was going to take me 2 more turns to get him to Harper's Ferry, and you already had 2 core over there. And I was like, well, I'm just not getting them out of here, so I'm just going to have to go. And I was about out of supply, so I'll just have to go take York or whatever. But by that point, the game was over anyway. So that was my thinking. Plus, it was about to snow, and I just figured he'd disintegrate, so I might as well just go to York and Gettysburg and York and just see if I can fight somehow.
Gotcha. So I'd be curious because I know I just rendered your first video, which was the you started recording in May. I didn't listen to like maybe half of it, so I don't know if you went over your kind of grand strategy, but maybe you can kind of explain what you're starting off the game. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So I was going to play the long game. I had no intentions of going for DC this game, although I did want to try it at some point. I ended up, and you'll see this in the later, I guess, earlier videos. I think I committed a lot out in Texas or far west, more than I should have, because I just wanted to take it and get you out of there. But I don't know if that was a smart move. I did win out there. It was the only place I won in the end. But I kind of, and I will tell you something too. You know how I moved Shelby out there?
Yeah.
And you know how that elite Cav unit pops up?
Yeah.
It popped up out there with him.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, so it follows him, huh?
Yeah, I remember. If I remember right, I kind of attacked that fort, and you hadn't quite lost, and my force was beat up pretty bad. But it popped up like I had that elite Cav unit like that turn, so I attacked again, and I was able to take it. I don't know if I would have without him.
Gotcha. So it's funny you say that. So I actually, during the winter of 61 to 62, put a bunch of guys on ships and sailed them to California. So I'm wondering if I had not done that, if you might have actually been able to push through into Arizona.
I didn't know you could sell people to California.
Yeah. You just it
How?
takes. You go. So you have to put them through. Let's see here. I think it's like the Northern Atlantic Ocean or whatever. I think that's where they went through, and it takes about 30 days, I think, and they'll sail all the way. Yeah. Now, the thing I didn't think about when I did it was the time of year I sent them. The ships got pretty beat up because it's winter time. But yeah, it takes about a month.
Where did you learn that? I never even thought about doing it.
Oh, I've known it for a while.
So you can take the fleet that's out there and move it east?
No, those are locked.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, those are locked. But what I did do is I also supplemented my, you know how you have those single infantry guys? I supplemented them by landing sailors and then attaching them, because you can attach them to them to make it a 2-element card instead of 1.
What do you mean?
So for example, let's see here. The infantry regiment, it's a 1 element item.
Right.
But you can merge them like you do your militia with a Navy guy, a sailor.
Oh, okay.
And you can do the same thing with your elite, with your Marines. You can attach them to, I think it's your Zouaves, I believe. Or maybe it's an elite unit, I forget. But let me see if I can find one.
What's really the benefit of that, though?
Just makes it harder for them to get destroyed. Because the single element guys can get destroyed. Yeah. But yeah, so all right, so you were thinking,
but not if they're in a division, though.
Correct.
If they're already in a division, it doesn't matter.
I mean, I don't know. Yeah, so let's see. Marines they can only stack with elites. So if you have a single elite element, you can combine it with a Marine element to make a single 2.
Interesting.
Yeah. So you were thinking long game, which I gotta tell you, man, I don't know how you win the game as a CSA long game at this point. I mean, I've scoured the forums.
Do.
No, I've scoured the forums. And there's really no YouTube content. And
I was playing the long game in the first game.
Yeah, and if I just waited you out, I would have won. I
don't think so.
I mean, I can't help myself.
You wouldn't have got the victory points.
I can't help myself. I have to attack. Well, okay, so yeah, maybe you could win the long game victory point wise. But all right, so you were gonna go long game. At what point did you decide to change that?
So, I messed up in the beginning, or at least I feel like when Kentucky turned, because I didn't place my guys right, and in hindsight, like I had them spread out way too much, and I think I would have placed them differently. Like you would have made inroads regardless, but if I had placed them better at first, I feel like I would have kept the long game strategy. So, but it just didn't work out.
I know the popular wisdom is to put most of your forces at Bowling Green. And maybe you differ with me on this one, but it just seems to me that if you do that, the Union can every single time do what I did to you, which is just park troops in behind you at Nashville. Because you don't have enough troops to protect both Bowling Green and Nashville.
Right. So, and I was kind of bummed a little bit because I'm losing so many cards like from Kentucky. For some reason, they have so many troops from there, and I don't understand why. Like, and that's another thing about this game I don't understand is like there's some states you don't get many troops at all, kind of like South Carolina.
Right.
Like there's very few cards. I don't understand that. Do you?
No, I mean you'd think South Carolina would have a lot. Because I think historically, right, they provided.
Yeah.
I mean, well, so Virginia was number 1. I want to say South Carolina was in the top 3.
I think North Carolina was 2.
That would make sense.
Or maybe Tennessee. Actually, I think North Carolina was above Tennessee, yeah. Well, you got to understand, too, like back then, those states were more populated than these further west states.
Yeah. So, at what point did you pivot your strategy, and why?
So, I kind of I was still trying to hold Tennessee, and then it got to the point, like, you were being really aggressive, and I'm like, well, it doesn't really matter about those Kentucky troops, because it looks like I'm going to be playing the whole game just replacing what I have, which that ended up happening. So, I mean, I still have plenty of cards I could play right now, even though the game's over. Like, I still got so many cards I could play, but I just couldn't get to them all. A lot of this game's been replacement. I forget exactly at what point, because this game I built a lot of my factories down in New Orleans, and so I had to keep a little bit of a force there. What kind of screwed me over, I think, I'm not saying I would have won, but when I decided to go for DC, I did not commit everything in the West, because I was like, well, maybe I'll kind of evaluate and see if I can really take it, and then I'll move them back out West. And then towards the end, I moved more troops from the west over there, and it just didn't work out the way I wanted it to. And of course, you told me that you had by happenstance just like you had a cav brigade come in, and my force that was there and near Chattanooga like rammed into them basically. So you had to turn up on me on there. Like you knew they were coming, which you told me you thought they just moved back to Chattanooga. So I'm not saying that would have made the difference, but I was banking on me having 2 or 3 turns before you could react.
Yeah, it was it was fate. The only reason I knew you hadn't retreated to Chattanooga was I had just built a couple cavalry that I was going to use to go harass your rail lines, and that just happened to be the turn that they were on the rail lines when Beauregard went through, and so obviously they got torched. But I saw everything that was moving through there, and then I kind of knew generally how long it was going to take you based on where that battle took, and that may have saved me because I diverted something like 3 or 4 divisions from the west and sent them east. Based on that.
Yeah, I'm remembering now too. Like early on, my fleet got tore up, like above Nashville. Like I tried to get them out, but they just kept getting hit, even though I had them on green and evade combat. Which, by the way, that makes sense on a river. Like I don't think you'd be able to get past another fleet on a river.
Oh, even on green.
Well, just in real life, I know this is a game, but like. A fleet's not passing by another fleet on a river.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I ended up pulling out. I remember one time though, I had to stop a corps like near about Montgomery, Alabama, because I didn't have the rail points to get it to Virginia either. And I ended up saving myself down in Charleston.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I was wondering where those guys came from.
But like, and the only thing, actually, I probably still could have got them there because they were at Montgomery, so another turn would have probably put them closer, actually. And then I could have just turned back. But I'm actually kind of pissed by that because they didn't get there until you had already pushed my guys out. Because I think I had a small little force there, and I was banking on, okay, they'll get in there and entrench, and he'll really be massacred because you didn't really get massacred, if I remember right?
No, what I was pissed about was I got there right before you, and I believe I had taken, either I took the city or I had all the military control. You moved in and there was no battle. My guys just ran.
Well, I think I had like a whole corps.
No, so I think you only had 2 divisions and I had 3, or something like that. Or it was like 2 and 2.
Are you sure? I thought I got it in on the same turn.
I'm pretty sure either. I'm pretty sure
because you pushed my guys out, and then my guys came back in and took it.
Yeah. Regardless, I was there before you, and and that was like Union leadership on full display, which was McDowell. And dude, between him and what was going on out in Little Rock, it was like, holy God, guys, can no one but Grant freaking lead an army?
Oh, that Little Rock, I thought you just forgot about it.
No, I was red for like 6 months straight.
Yeah. But yeah, I think what messed me up over in DC, again, I don't know what would have happened, but me trying to move Lee out of that region just to the northwest of DC, like I had him on defensive, and it just tore my army up because it made me attack you and heavily entrenched. And if you'll remember, like I lost like 70-something thousand and you lost like 30 or 40, and that just can't happen as the CSA.
Yeah, so if you could do it over again, still utilizing the DC strategy, what would you have changed?
I would have committed everything early on. Like I was so hesitant to move everything from the west, like from New Orleans. Like I had at least a couple of divisions there, I think. I think I had 1 or 2, like one in Charleston, one in Savannah. And then I had that whole army of the Tennessee, and the thing is, I can't get them all over in one turn either because I didn't have the rail points. But I still held back, and I should have just committed everything because I think you have to.
Would you have done that in 62 or 63?
You mean if I would have planned on doing the DC strategy at the beginning?
But whenever you decided to go after DC, would you prefer to have done it in 62 or 63?
I'm not sure if I had the numbers in 62. I don't think I could have done it.
I mean, you went after DC in 62.
Yeah, the thing is I lost so much cohesion, and I just couldn't do the movement. It just didn't work out, and I know you'll laugh about this, but like just everything went wrong for me this game. Like I'd move into a region and you get there a turn or two ahead. There is one time I was like, I think you were in Manassas and I was in Fairfax, and you basically kind of had me surrounded. And I think I said in the video, I was like, if I was him, I would just not attack because I would have to attack because I'd have to go up towards Harper Ferry just to go around you. And I said, I think if I just sit here, he might just attack me. And sure enough, like that was bad for you.
Yeah, I remember that. That didn't turn out very well.
Yeah, and I said in the video, I said he plays really aggressive. So if I just sit here, I think I might, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, so for my part, I actually kind of did everything I wanted to do when I wanted to do it. So like 61, my objectives were Springfield, hold St. Louis, hold Cairo and DC. Did that. I invested like really heavily in industry. So that's why in 62 I was having trouble keeping up with you because most of my money had gone into like transports for the merchant fleet. And my ironworks and stuff.
Well, I noticed you didn't raise taxes either.
No, I didn't. And the ironworks, I had to build them because I was actually struggling with war supply for the first year and a half. And what I wanted to do is I wanted to get it up to that point where it exchanges it into 50 cash. So I was struggling with that. And then when you went on the offensive in DC, I felt the pressure pretty quick. I mean, I'm not going to lie. Pretty much when Grant came over to the east was when I was like, oh, it's possible I might lose this game. Because you were sitting, but that fort northwest of DC is worth its weight in gold.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, because you got held up I don't know how many times on that fort.
Well, that's another thing. When I was going for it, there were so many battles that I just kept running out of ammunition. And I think one time I took the fort and it wiped out my ammunition, and then you came in and I had no ammunition.
Yeah, I mean, it was so back and forth, and it was so back and forth because I didn't want you to get dug in. And so even though I didn't really have the cohesion or the replacements to attack you necessarily, I'm like, if I'm hurting, I know you're hurting. And if you get dug in, then I'm going to be in a real bad place.
Well, wasn't Lee and Grant stuck there for like half a year?
Yeah.
And they would have probably stayed there if I didn't try to move. Like, would you have eventually tried to move them out?
No, I figured it's benefit to me because I'm right next to DC. I'm full supply. I can keep building troops. You can't really replace your lost troops, and so you're kind of stuck there. I think just what sucks is when you try to move out because you didn't go green. There was that big battle where you lost like, was it 165,000 or something?
Yeah, and it made the game not fun anymore. I was like, this sucks, based on kind of just an experiment I did. And I'm kind of interested to see how it would have played out if I would have just done green or just left them there altogether.
I mean, I enjoyed it. But,
I know.
But yeah, so then my secondary strategy in 62 or 63 was basically just to take out your economy. So it was to bleed you, and then so all the battles in 62 really helped that. And then take Savannah and New Orleans.
Well, I'll tell you something. Like, I did not hurt on money this game. Like, I had enough money with the troops I had. Like, I was very conservative with my money.
Did you not build a rail pool or what?
Well, I did to a certain point. But then there were so many battles, I didn't need it anymore because I could move what I needed to move for the most part. Mm-hmm. I didn't really waste my money I didn't do heavy artillery, which I did that first game. which it just doesn't seem worth it to me.
Yeah, so actually to your point on that, because I was looking into it yesterday, since I'm going to be playing CSA again, I just don't know how you get around that whole problem where your heavy artillery replacements can go both to your coastal artillery as well as your 20-pounders. Because, like, I don't want my coastal artillery to get repaired. Like, I care less about those things, you know? And I guess maybe the only way to do it is, since we do play on that setting where you have to be in a depot to get your replacements, that so long as your artillery pieces aren't green in a depot area, they theoretically shouldn't get the replacements. But I don't know what your experience was when you've done that. I have a problem with it.
Well, here's the thing, though. Like, even if it went towards your field pieces, like, it's still almost not worth it to me. It's so much money.
Yeah, well, I mean, they're really good for the offense, but yeah, I mean, since you play mostly defensive game with CSA, I mean,
yeah.
I mean, let me look here. So, I don't know if CSA 20-pounders are different, but
see, like, I didn't waste any money on like demonstrations or I only built one redoubt, and that was in New Orleans, so I didn't waste money on that. That's like 50 grand.
So
that's a lot of money.
The Kentucky 20-pounder does 30/33 firepower damage. Its range is 3 out of 20, and then assault's 5/5, with assault damage of 15. As compared to a 10-pounder, let's go find one of those real quick.
See, I'm looking at this one in Savannah, and it's like 20 assault damage.
Yeah, it might just so the Kentucky ones might just be special, because if I let me pull a Massachusetts one real quick.
But are you saying? I think
yeah.
we talked about this earlier. Are the Gatling guns not really worth it?
I think they are late game for the Union. Plugging like 1 or 2 of those into your artillery division, because they do so much damage on assault.
Oh, okay.
Like, they're the inverse of artillery.
See, now that doesn't make sense.
Let's see here. So
most people, like, I wouldn't imagine people rolling in a Gatling gun on an assault.
So this Massachusetts 20-pounder is 23 firepower /24. And then 2/22 on range damage, 4 assault, and then 20 assault damage. Whereas a Gatling gun, 30 assault damage, 8 assault.
Let me ask you this. You know when you took Fort Sumter?
Yeah.
Were you toying with trying to take Charleston at that point?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was just like the first step in taking Charleston. I wasn't going to do it that turn, though. I had planned to come back later. I just wanted to get you blockaded to lower your income for Charleston.
So what changed? You didn't take it for a while.
You moving on DC. I pretty much had to dedicate everything I had to make sure you didn't take DC for a while.
Well, I noticed you kept people west though.
I did, but I kept trickling them east. And then when I brought Grant, or when I saw Beauregard going over there, I was like, oh crap, now I'm gonna move everybody over there. I probably kept more than I should have, though, in the West. So I had 5 or 6 divisions under Buell moving towards Atlanta, and then I had a couple divisions over there at Memphis and Little Rock, and then I had that stack down there in New Orleans.
Did I throw you off far west?
I mean, a little bit. I was a little annoyed I couldn't break through, but I was content that you weren't able to get after the mines. So I was kind of, it's like, that's okay, fine.
Were you surprised I took like Santa Fe and that whole region north?
Yeah, I was surprised where all the troops were coming from.
I remember you were in your last little redoubt out there, and I was like, I'm going to send a brigade over to the town behind it, and I think you was running low on food, and I was like, he's going to have to pull out, and you did.
Yeah, I was low on food. Now, I did take Jackson, Georgia. I did not plunder it, but I'm going to give the entire county away to some freed blacks. So.
You don't even have that regiment in Jackson.
I just moved him out, but he was there last turn. payback for taking San Antonio.
Dude, I kept troops there to keep your family safe.
So, by the way, casualties, man, over 1 million.
What was the last game?
It wasn't that high. I think it was like 700,000 or 800,000.
Yeah.
I mean, and that was a full another year's worth of playing. Year and a half.
You lost about what the Union lost. It looks like.
Yeah, pretty
in the
close.
World War.
But I mean, like, we played another year and a half on that other game. Here we had over 1 million casualties, and that doesn't even include prisoners. Like, I took almost 68,000 prisoners.
I think it counts. Like, I have my losses on mine show 579,456.
So is that the total number, or is that separate and apart from the prisoners I took?
Well, what does yours show, like my casualties, where it says lost men?
It's what you just said.
Okay, well that's all I lost. Like, so for you, I'm showing lost men 442,480.
Yep.
But then it's telling me I took 51,700 prisoners.
Yep.
So I don't know.
Anything else you want to cover? I think the critical points in that game was, at least for me, stopping Lee at that fort and just kind of being able to inflict as many, if not more, casualties on you than you were on me, and then seeing Beauregard go east. Because when that happened, I was like, oh boy. But then once I was able to kind of bog you down up there near DC, I was then finally able, to muster up a couple divisions to get down there and get Charleston. And I know, like, taking Charleston from the CSA is, like, incredibly painful for the CSA's economy.
Yeah. Yeah. I think I said in one of my videos, like, I don't really foresee anybody losing as a union anymore.
Except this next game.
We'll see. I already have a strategy for this next game. Do you?
I'm still thinking through it. You know what's crazy, man? Lee only has a 6.56 with all those battles. How's he?
So many.
I mean, Grant is a 6.77. I mean, I got several. Like, he's a 6.77. Sherman's 6.66. Hooker.
Well, you gain numbers when you win battles.
Yeah, Hooker's a 5.66.
Oh, Jackson died.
Oh, really? When?
Yeah. Back when you thought he did. Like, you was like, where's Jackson?
Yeah, so I
didn't want to tell you that.
For a couple turns, I was freaking out because I'm like, dude, where's he going to hit me? Like, what the hell is he doing? Where the hell is Jackson?
And then you forgot about it.
Yeah. Well, at some point, I figured he was dead. What's funny is Grant got the title Unconditional Surrender.
You mean in game?
Yeah. I'm looking at it. I don't know. I'm looking at it.
I don't see it. Where do you see it?
It's right above his name in his, in his card. And you click his name for further details.
Oh, okay. I can't see that.
And he's got almost full experience. Here, Meade was another guy who was just in every battle. Let me check him out too.
I'm wondering the highest level that a unit has ever been seen with experience, like the most stars, Meade
has the name Old Snapping Turtle. And even his experience isn't what Grant's was, which is interesting. It's about half.
Looking at Lee, it says Marse. M-A-R-S-E.
The hell's that mean?
I don't know. M-A-R-S-E in quotations.
I just got Custer this turn. That's funny. Marse. Uncle Billy for Sherman.
Holmes says Granny.
That's accurate. I don't think everybody got names, did they?
Claiborne, the Stonewall Jackson of the West.
Sheridan is Little Phil.
Nathan Forrest is Wizard.
Dude, Old common sense for Reynolds. Wizard, is that because he ended up being like the KKK guy?
No, I think he was called the Wizard in the Saddle or something.
Oh, gotcha. So I guess maybe I just didn't notice this. Maybe they all have their nicknames. Like Kearney is the Magnificent.
I wonder if they've always had them.
They must have, because yeah. Anyways, all right, cool, man. Well, that was a lot of fun. I think the people watching this stuff is gonna really enjoy that one because it was just constant action from like 62 on.
Well, yeah. Towards the end, I told in a video, I was like, "There's no like the game's done." I think it was after Lee, like that battle up there. I said, "But I'm gonna play it out the best I can." But I forget what happened like 3 months ago. I was like, "This is over. I'm just gonna." Oh, I was gonna pull everybody just back to DC and see how long I could take it. But then I thought I saw an opening where it might make it interesting, where I go up through Fredericksburg into Alexandria, but then you decided to go down to Fredericksburg, and I went across the river, and then I was like, well, this is really over now.
Yeah, so not everybody has nicknames, but there are
Because
several.
I remember Grant was like trying to faint, like he was going to Harper's Ferry, and then he railed back over and went down through Fredericksburg.
Yeah.
But the next game is going to be interesting. I already know what I'm going to do. I already know the game plan.
Well, any final thoughts before we wrap the video up?
No, it was a good game. I think for the viewers, it might be less. It's kind of maybe stale at the end because, or at least probably because I said this is over, and I'm just gonna have to play it out the best I can. Like I think with yours, like I think you maybe made it interesting to where you thought maybe you could hold. I don't know. I can't remember.
The last game?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I thought I was gonna win.
Yeah.
And I should have, so you hacked the game to make sure I didn't.
I told you would have lost like 3 or 4 or 5 months earlier. I thought that if Atlanta was taken, it would just pop up another card for you to move the capital or something.
It was
so that's why I was just kind of encircling Atlanta until right before I took DC, and if you moved it, I'd just take Atlanta.
It was my superb strategy that caused you to win only in the very last turn.
Alright, well, we're starting a new game.
Yeah, you think you'll be able to get that back to me tonight?
Maybe. If I don't have to make a video. I guess first couple of turns you don't need to make a video. I'll probably make my first video on third turn, I guess. So, yeah, I can get it back to you.
Okay. Sounds good, man.
Alright.
Alright, let me stop the recording.